Hi Alexis, this is Jackie again for kind of the second round of research tutorials for your topic on, the benefits of various types of exercise and weight loss. So, already mentioned in the first video, really some things to think about is your patient or client type or demographic. That can make a difference. Everything from, of course, age, gender, level of current fitness, training goals, any other sort of, for lack of a word, aggravating factors. Are they diabetic? Do they have bone issues or anything like that? So thinking those types of things as far as what are different solutions based on the individual type, because that can make a difference, of course. And so considering all those things and where you want to go, then diving into the tool to do your research. So again, we're back on the library page. We're going to go back to our library databases, and I'm going to show you in this tutorial, hopefully we'll get at least two in. I'm going to show you using our Ebsco databases, and within Ebsco there is a database, this one called Academic Search Complete. Also, if you click on Choose Databases, we also have some related to health specifically. There's the Nursing Academic Edition, and then there's the Consumer Edition. And you can probably guess the difference between the two. You can go ahead and click both if you like, or just click one. But of course you can guess one's academic, one's more consumer-based. So different levels of information type. And then academic search is already checked, and we'll keep it checked. So for searching here, again, perhaps some of those similar things in academic one file, keep being flexible with the words. We said cardiovascular. It can also, of course, say aerobic. When you look at aerobic, of course, there's variations within aerobic exercise. It's complicated. We can look at low-intensity aerobic exercise, which is usually from that 50 to 60-ish% heart rate to moderate intensity to very intense. So it's all those things to keep in mind, which is why medical savvy research is so hard. And again, using weight loss versus diet, exercise therapy, anaerobic strength training, all these different words. But let's go ahead and try, I can go ahead and try weight loss here, since that was our keyword. And what's really here is helpful is that the database tries to help you find things. So do you mean weight loss or weight reduction or lose weight? Well, probably any of those terms would work, right? So we could also probably even put in or diet. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. Should work. Ooh, what did it prompt me for? Or lose weight, or obesity, or overweight, or weight management. Again, okay, we could do that too. So let's do that. We'll make it huge. Again, we can then put in and exercise therapy, exercise intervention. That's going to cover all exercises. Then if we wanted to get more specific, we could do and exercise, or physical activity, or fitness, sure. And then at this point, we could probably do aerobic exercise or cardiovascular, or you could just leave it like this and search, more fully, filter in the next screen. Totally up to you. It depends on your weight loss style. Your search style. Weight loss. Okay, so we used a lot of different words here, so we got a lot of results because of that. I will say some things that I like to do. Search results come up 10 per page. That personally drives me crazy, so I go to page options and I like looking at 50. It really bugs me to have to look at next all the time. And again, one thing we might want to think about, just these top two right here, that looks like they're looking at adolescents. So again, looking at, and kids and students, again, looking at patient type, you might want to go ahead and add something right away, which you can do, saying, well, no, I'm actually really interested in, but you could be interested in adolescents specifically, or teenagers or young adults. Really helpful. So you can make that edit right here, right now, if you wanted to. Or again, a different population type. As you can see, that cuts us down to the top 10%. We've cut our article results from over 20,000 to just over 2,000. So really kind of fascinating, and helping your team lose weight. So that's one thing you can certainly do. If you decide that you don't want to, add those search terms, you can just take them out and hit search again. No big deal. Totally up to you. I'm in fact going to take it out at this point. Just because you might not want to scope that way, but you get the idea of how to do it, when you do. Because the other thing you can do, and this is really important, is These are all the articles. Before we get into the articles, I want to show you exercise intervention. That looks interesting for you. I want to show you some filters first, and then we'll get into actually some of the articles. One thing that I want us to do is let's get a little bit further up in time here. Those historical studies are fascinating. You might want to stick to the things. This is a science medical issue. You really probably want to stick within the last 5 years, I would say. For sure, actually, and if not, sooner you might even want to stick to the last 3 years, to be honest. So we have, just by doing that, we've cut our articles from over 20,000 down to 10. So that alone has gotten us current. And I can't remember, I think you said this was writing 115. So again, I believe you just need 2 articles from a database. You don't necessarily need those research articles from academic journals. It sounds like magazines are fine as well. So scoping it to your level, but also making sure you have enough information and strong enough evidence to make your point. And one thing that you can also do is limit to different subject terms, which I think is really helpful. If you click show more here, it kind of gives you some ideas of kind of our big topic, which was weight loss and exercise. But you can scroll down here and see, is there anything here that really looks like it's helpful as well. So specifically with, if you're looking at, what's your point of looking at weight loss? Is it for disease, reduction, that sort of thing? You can certainly do that. If you're looking specifically at some disease, insulin resistance, certainly. Prevention, nutrition, any of those could be really helpful. So, and if you click on this, let's say we're really interested in prevention, right? That's always positive. Prevention's good. That would take us to the 231 articles focused specifically on that. If you're looking at it as an obesity treatment, again, the 217 articles on that topic. So you get the idea. So that's the SARS term. The subject heading ones cast kind of a broader net. And so I'm going to go ahead and show more here. If you're really looking at, weight loss, exercise, and the regulation of body weight or prevention of obesity, again, that's showing up here as well. If you're looking for children specifically, again, 91 articles attached to that. So, I'm looking just to see if anything, an aerobic exercise, if anything comes up that's specific to your question. So let's just go ahead and click on this one. Let's update here. The 4 most important types of exercise. Well, here we go. Might be really helpful for you. The fit-but-fat debate, really, of course, a very interesting one. So let's say we're down to 36. Let's say you're interested in this article. Who is it? I'm interested. I'm kind of a health nut. You might see me at the gym sometimes. I don't know if you go to the rack. I'm there every night. But so let's say you're interested in this article. So a couple things here. It's giving you a bit of a summary of the article. This article is coming from this particular journal, Harvard Health Letter. It was just published this time last year, February 2017, and it's about 2 pages, super short. But what it's looking at is also covering some of these really specific subject areas, which can be helpful to know. It can be really helpful to see, am I really want to look at specifically aerobic exercises as a subject heading? Maybe that's my main subject heading. And then I want to add weight loss as part of that versus strength training and weight loss as a part of that. So if you wanted to go that route, you certainly could. You would just click there. It would take you to all the articles that talk about aerobic exercise. And I'll just show you really quick. It would take you to all the articles that discuss aerobic exercise, and then, again, weight loss, weight reduction, search, and then it would scope it down that way. So that's kind of interesting. When the focus is aerobic exercise, that's more of a priority of the article as an attribute of weight loss. So we get 229. So I'm just going to go back to where we were because I want to show you. Here's the article we were just looking at. Okay, so usually what people ask me is, how do I look at the whole article? Well, in this case, this article is available as HTML or PDF. The HTML is just going to be right here. It's right there. The PDF is going to be right over here to the left. You would just click that and bring up the actual PDF of the article, just how it appeared in the magazine. And again, with these, in either case, I'm just scrolling my screen over here because we have some cool tools. if you want to go ahead and add this to your Google Drive, if you have one, you certainly can do that. The folder is a little confusing. The folder actually is attached to a very specific folder that you would create personally in Ebsco, which you can do. You'd have to actually sign in and create one. So I point this out because a lot of people make the mistake of adding it to a folder and thinking they'll come back and it's there. And it's not there because right now you don't have an account that it's attached to. If you create an account, it's in a folder within your account, if that makes sense. That's free. Finally, the last thing I want to show you is the citation tool. This is so cool. If you click Cite, it will browse you through all the different citation styles. If you're in Speech 111, Column 111, you would use APA. But since we're in writing class, humanities, we're going to use MLA. And you would use this part of the citation right here. You wouldn't use the URL. So isn't that cool? You can just copy and paste that right into your Word document and boom. So pretty cool. And that's just a guideline. You know, always double check it against, I'm sure Dr. Jordan's introduced the Purdue OWL writing resource to double check, but usually they're pretty good, I think. Especially if it's a newer article, they tend to be pretty good. So let's go back to our result list here. So again, we totally refined this. 2 types of exercise may be needed to preserve muscle mass during weight loss. So again, very important because especially with this, you know, I don't know if there's a better, it's really kind of an either or, and it is so personalized which system is going to work better for somebody in their particular situation for what is more effective for weight loss. If you have somebody, a client, patient who is quite simply more interested in doing extensive cardiovascular exercise and they're willing to spend the time on it, you know, a lower impact, hour long, as long as it's, you know, gets their heart rate up enough, it's going to be more successful for them, frankly. If you have somebody who is more interested in redefining body composition and they're older and frankly they have half an hour, you know, they might find what's more effective for them is going to be doing something that's a little bit higher intensity because because quite frankly, probably what a lot of these will come down to is what the research comes down to is frankly what is the one that burns the most calories. If you're just going straight for weight loss, if you're going for ongoing health and such, it just depends. You really kind of do need a little bit of both. So anyway, as you probably know yourself. So again, that's kind of how you use this. Again, add some attributes if you're really looking at saying college women. College students or university students. Kind of fascinating. You can certainly do that. And this is even looking at baseline fitness, obesity, and physical activity levels. Wow, see, persuading students to exercise. What is the best way to frame messages for normal weight versus overweight, obese university students? Because again, very different in how somebody's going to respond to certain types of exercise. And the progression is going to evolve. So, okay, really quickly, we are going to fly through Google Scholar because, again, this is a super long video. And I'm hoping that's enough. I was going to introduce you to PubMed, but PubMed's kind of overwhelming. So Scholar Google, you've probably already used it. But we're going to look at its diet. And we could also, of course, put in weight loss. I'm sorry, let me do that instead. Weight loss. Oh, see. Can you see I tried this? Cardio, strength training, and weight loss. And so I would custom range this again to, again, no older than 2015 to 2018. That's just me. You can spread it out a little bit longer, but I wouldn't go too much further back than that. Again, these are Google Scholar. These are going to go back to those really scholarly articles where you're really looking at, this one looks really readable, right? But then some of these are going to be about, you know, insulinemia, excuse me, hyperinsulinemia, so even I struggle with this, and then some of these other attributes. So the pros and cons of Google Scholar. Some of them you can get online right away. A lot you can't. So if you run into one you can't, I'm going to give you an email, asims@bluecc.edu. That's Adam Sims, and he's our ILL person. He can get it for you. So asims@bluecc.edu. In this case, looks like the whole article's here. So pretty cool. So I hope that's good start.